G'day everybody, welcome back to Enshrouded. Hope you guys are doing well. We're in Wistful Fields, hanging out in the new home, or the new building, with all of our mates back there. We've obviously moved them across in the previous episode because the structure itself is kind of done. We finished the staircase, not without problems obviously, and some of which I am sort of living with. But we did discover another problem on the outside when we were sort of tidying things up and looking at the way the floor was joining with the wall. And yeah, I decided to clean things up at the very edges of where the walls connect to the ground. So you can see that that's all cleaned up. That turned out to be a bigger problem than I originally thought it was. And that's primarily because I made a bit of a mistake with the size of the basement. And I had to sort of do quite a bit more in the basement to resolve the problem and just make sure that, you know, the rooms were actually the right size. But yeah, in this episode, hopefully, with everything done in terms of structure, we should be able to divide up the space. One thing that I do want to do before we get started, however, is to see if we can just go back to our old home, and I'm going to see if I can make some candles. And once we do that, we should be able to... Oh, hang on. I've just realized here, but maybe... Oh no, we still have the ability to make all of this stuff. I was sort of thinking, do we need to have some of our crafts people nearby? But that doesn't seem to be the case. I could convert this into chandeliers, but I might not worry about doing that, to be honest, because that'll take a little bit more time. Plus, I suppose using just, you know, candles that we place down on the ground is still going to be decent. And we can pick up those candles again and use them in chandeliers later on if we need to. So yeah, just placing these things around to make sure that we've got enough lighting so we can continue working. Obviously going to try and work during the day. This is the only section that I haven't completed because I just feel like it's a little easier for us to jump in and out of the structure. Yeah, just making sure everything is relatively lit up. Okay. Material-wise, we still have everything that we need, so yeah, we should be able to just get going. So the first thing that I want to do is start dividing the ground floor. I mean, sure, we could start in the basement if we really wanted to, but I figure maybe we just start here, and that's fine. Perhaps maybe we just want to quickly take that, and yeah, let's... maybe also move the chandelier. Or perhaps maybe I'll just leave that there and I'll leave that there just to light up the corners. Alright, so initially I'm sort of thinking that we want to make some kind of a corridor. So we're sort of going to block things off over here. Okay, so something like that. Obviously there's going to be a door and stuff, but I'll actually carve out the door later. And yeah, the first thing that I want is like a room big enough to essentially be like a guest room and a living room. Okay, that's why it was so difficult to move these things around. I feel like the game automatically puts things into snapping mode when you reload, which can be a little frustrating. I don't know. I don't know if I want to maybe block off this room completely and have like a corridor immediately. I could play around with the idea. Because what we could do is something like that. And then we could, you know, carve out a door. But like, does it even make sense? And I want, you know, a decent amount of room for this particular room. Yeah, it's all just gonna be trial and error, guys, so perhaps maybe I can give it a bit more space, like over here, so we've got a little bit more space to work with. There could be, you know, an initial room with some storage, I don't know, decorative, like, entrance type items, whatever they may be. Yeah, I'll fix that up a little bit later. Yeah, I mean, that's not done yet, but let's pretend that that's going to be how things are set up. So we'll go in, nice entranceway. If you need to store stuff, you can store stuff here, perhaps. And then straight into a nice looking living area slash guest room. And I think the idea is we're gonna sort of continue with more walls here so that we can then sort of separate out this room completely. And I would like to make it look sort of symmetrical in some way. So I guess if we're making it symmetrical, that's probably the amount of space that we want. Right. And considering I've had all sorts of trouble with measuring the space in the basement, I sort of just want to make sure that I'm getting things right here. Yeah, that looks good. So that is symmetrical. And we just wall things off. Bit more like that. Right, so this living room is, you know, large enough. You know, people can relax in front of the fire. Maybe there's going to be like some kind of a dining table here. We could have another door that leads to the space behind over there. I am just gonna get rid of that. Do we even need a wall there? Maybe that's not even required. Maybe it can be completely open and we sort of just walk around. And yeah, this can be sort of like a kitchen area, so to speak. And potentially with the smelting area, you know, being outside, and you know, the blacksmith's work area being outside here where it involves heat and whatnot, maybe we can keep the oven in the same area as well. I don't know if it's actually safe, like in real life, to have like an oven together with blacksmith type smelters and stuff. Probably not. Maybe the fumes are a little bit more noxious. But yeah, let's complete all of this, and once that's done, I should be able to sort of figure other parts of the building out a little bit more. I'll actually remove that because I think we've gone over by one section. Brilliant, okay. Perfect. Now, I'm also thinking that perhaps maybe in this space here, we already want to start thinking about making it into someone's room. Someone's living quarters. And that might not be a bad idea. And I'm thinking it could either be the blacksmith or perhaps maybe Cade. Because I think both the blacksmith and Cade are going to be sitting out here because, you know, the type of work that they do. But anyway, speaking of said people, I probably do need to move them. So we should actually just quickly get that arranged. So yeah, we'll just move the entire gang, in fact. So they can all just hang out here. Alright. Right. And just to address the lighting in that room that we've just made, I'm going to put one of the chandeliers in here. Don't worry, I will, you know, tidy that up a little bit more. There probably will be more candles and stuff in here as well. I wonder, in fact, if I take these candles down, if it's going to be a little bit dark. Yeah, it does look a little bit dark, doesn't it? I think perhaps maybe more candles around, not necessarily on that wall. We could probably put it on other walls, but we definitely need more lighting in there. We'll come back to that. Quickly pick that up, and yeah, so here I need to sort of decide if I want to fit 2 people in this space or just 1. Probably just 1, and if that's the case, then maybe I want to divide this space into like at least half or something like that. That way there'll be enough room for 1 person. And then there's going to be still a little bit more space right in this area here to put stuff, decorate, etc. So yeah, let's do it. So I reckon, yeah, so what I was sort of thinking about the room that we currently sort of use to sleep, which is supposed to be the farmer's room. I wonder if I actually gave her enough space. It does seem a little tight. In fact, that entire house seems a little bit small now with the amount of people that's living there. Oh, I did forget to mention another thing that I worked on between episodes is I got rid of most of the platforms that we were using for the roof, so it's looking pretty clear now, aside from just this one platform that helps us sort of jump into the house a little bit more. Yeah, okay, so nice door will be set up here, and yeah, this will be, I would say, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. This guy's place. The blacksmith.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Seriously, that's gonna bug me. What's his name again? Oswald, that's it. Right, so I think that's the ground floor planned. The only thing is, like, do I want to maybe block off this section and add a door? Do I need to do that? I don't know, that might not be entirely necessary. We could have a door set up here. And I think that makes sense. Yeah, the real issue is, I think the door frames require, like, what? 4 blocks in terms of width? Which makes it a little bit difficult to centralize stuff. Yeah, I almost feel like maybe we can just have like an entryway without a door. That might not be too bad. But yeah, that seems decent to me. Obviously this is going to be blocked off because I'm sure Ozzy would like his privacy. And now to work on the second floor. Now before we get started actually, I did sort of between episodes when I was sort of fixing stuff, I realized that this doesn't really look quite right. So if you sort of compare what we've done here, the pillar is right on the corner. And then if we go one more flight of stairs, the pillar is sort of right in the corner as well, sort of. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to align. So I'm gonna get rid of all of that. I think that makes much more sense. Let me just do a bit of counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Good. Yeah, and that goes all the way up. Still not sure if we're going to change the look of the pillar and stuff like that. We'll come back to that. But yeah, let's start dividing the space here. So one thing's for sure is we want some kind of a room where people can sort of hang out in, relax together, etc. But then there also needs to be living areas. So I think it's about time we get the wall in, because I'm gonna need to do that. So let me just get rid of that because we're no longer going to be able to jump in that way. Perfect, okay. So my initial thought is maybe we can block off here, like that. And that'll give us one room for one person. Not sure who. I think it's probably between Balthazar and Cade. Alternatively, I was sort of thinking, maybe we can just have like everyone live on the second floor and this could be like a different room altogether, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. getting dark. So gonna have a sleep very soon. But let me just try to get the room divided. Okay, might be a little too dark for us to keep working, so let me just run back home. I'll run back to the other home and have a sleep. All that linen should have processed by now, I think. We should have those materials to use from the loom. Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, this is a very small room. Yeah. I guess when we do eventually get to extending this home, there'll be a little bit more space for her. But yeah, I'm sort of thinking we need to be able to fit the bard in this house as well, so I don't know if the extension is going to be just a very small extension or if it might be even bigger than what I had initially planned. It could be that we make an extension over this side and then like do like a small like L shape down this way. That might not be a bad idea, but I don't want to think about it just yet. Problems for another day. Okay, so this looks perfect. I probably just want to figure out which way we want the entrance to be. I'm thinking maybe the entrance should face this way, but if we're not happy with it, we can always change that later on. Alright. Now, depending on what we do with the staircase, this could be like an actual corridor. Or from here, at least. Yeah, we'll have a think of it. Think about it. So, chandeliers. Chandeliers are a bit of a problem because they're sort of coming down a little bit too low. So I don't think we need as many chandeliers. I'm sort of thinking maybe chandeliers, if we do want to use chandeliers in the future, we just need to make sure that we have a little bit more space to work with the chandeliers, or perhaps maybe another thing is I could hang the chandeliers from a position that's a little bit higher up, and then sort of just like cover the section that is connected to the ceiling. Sort of like what we do for the quasi fireplace. But anyway, let's figure out what else needs to go in here. I'm thinking this is going to be Cade's room. And what we want next is a room over here. It'll be a little bit bigger. The reason for that is it's going to house Balthazar and all of his tools. Now, because he's got like stuff that's related to chemicals and stuff, maybe we can do like a small like opening around this side as a sort of exhaust vent slash chimney. Okay. Sorry, I'm sort of just like getting ideas out before I actually put them in or start the build. I wonder if I want like another corridor out this way. Do I even need that? Probably don't. I just don't want the rooms, or some of the rooms, to be too big. But I did mention... I can't remember if it was the previous episode or the episode before that, where I sort of want to have some kind of a library as well. A library would be kind of cool. Let me get an actual door. Yeah, okay. I wonder if getting a balcony in would be kind of cool. That might not be a bad idea. I feel like I'm just adding more to the list. Adding more difficult things to the list for me to do. But that's the sort of game this is, right? Like, the more you play around with it, the more you sort of start thinking about, like, possibilities. Which I do like, you know? That gives me some inspiration on things to do. The positioning of the windows we might have to sort of play around with, because I might actually overlap where I place the walls down in. I'm just trying to figure out how much space Balthazar is really gonna need, you know? I have a problem with this space here. Now you might be asking, what is this space for anyway? Well, this is... I plan to have like some kind of a bathroom. You know, we'll have the toilet in there and bathtub and stuff like that. There's windows, but I don't think that's really gonna matter, because we still need windows for those kinds of rooms. Just make sure that, you know, no one's spying on you. If there are windows with blinds and stuff, that'd be good. But anyway. It's fine. Let's see. Got... maybe just this little gap will fix that up. Okay, so... yeah, I was sort of thinking maybe we just have this room as a quasi-library as well. So... Balthazar will obviously operate somewhere here. Would probably block off maybe even a bit more of this space carved out for him, because he's both going to, you know, live in there and also do his research in there. Actually, I think I've made a mistake there, so... I wonder if I need to reduce the amount of space that Cade has. Possibly. Okay, so we come up here. Cade's room will be here. Balthazar in there. Hangout area. And I'm planning to have like a big library here. So maybe this entire section here is a library with, you know, some chairs and stuff like that over here for, you know, hanging out in front of the fire, and then there could be like actual desks for reading. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, I don't know if I've really utilized the space properly or not. Let me have another look at Cade's space here. Maybe we can go just a tiny bit smaller for Cade. Yeah, I mean, the position of doors and stuff like that we can always play around with. That's not really going to be an issue. I'm just sort of putting temporary doors in so we can get around. Could be a good idea to have maybe the door to Balthazar's place on this side. So his beautiful room and lab. So he'll get a window, and then he'll get like a vent as well, I reckon. And all of his machines will be sort of in this corner, and then he'll be living on this side. Yeah, that's the plan anyway. Again, I have no idea if things are going to turn out well. Yeah, I can already see it, like heaps of bookcases here dividing the space, and yeah, we might have a few other bits and pieces, artifacts, decorations. Alright, that's pretty good. The attic. The attic, I am really confused as to what we can do in the attic. Yeah. I don't really know if we really need to, like, separate out the spaces in the attic, to be honest, because, the attic's just an attic, right? So we don't really need to do anything like that. Yeah. It seems really odd that the attic is like the brightest space in the house. Yeah, storage, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could even argue for like this space to be a library. So we can have like heaps and heaps of books here. A study desk. Maybe. Alright, the last room, or sorry, the last tier, I suppose, that we need to figure out is this basement. I do have plans to dig further into the mountain at some point, but initially, I guess I'm going to put, Athalan, I think that's his name. You know, I'm really horrendous with the names of all of the characters here. No, Athalan is the hunter. Alden. Alden's going to be in here somewhere. Let's chuck him there, because I know he likes being in dank, dark places. But yeah, so similar to what we've got going already in some of the other rooms, I think we should make sure that there's, you know, sort of a space here that houses the chimney and the fireplace, so... And I think maybe for this, going in with flintstone blocks would probably be best. So yeah, let's get going with that. Actually, there is a decent amount of space, so I could maybe argue for a larger area to house the fireplace, maybe. Yeah, almost feels like the basement is going to be like super spacious. Something like that. Maybe that's a little overkill. Yeah, I'll get a door piece in straight away. That way we can sort of go in and out, inspect the space. Definitely need a little bit of lighting in here. Yeah, again, in hindsight, I should have planned for chandeliers more. I wish the chandeliers didn't come down so far away. That's a little frustrating. Maybe... yeah, as I said before, maybe there's a way to fix that, like, by sort of clipping stuff, which I might play around with. Are we happy with something like that? I mean, if I separate this out for Alden, I feel like this room's a little too small for him. Yeah, I think this is a more decent space. Just need heaps and heaps more lighting. And as for what we're going to use the basement for, that's something that I'm still not entirely sure of. I do have plans to hopefully connect the underground section to the other house, and that way they're connected from underneath. But that'll have to come in later episodes. But yeah, I think we've sort of divided out the space relatively well here. This probably needs just a tiny bit more space on the top, like that. I am a little confused as to what to do with the attic, though. Not gonna lie. So I'll need to think about this. The only idea I have at the moment is that library idea. But I sort of wanted to make the library over here. Maybe we can have both of them being libraries, or maybe it can be a shared thing where it's like both, like a huge library, like say on this side, with heaps of books, and then this side has like heaps of plants and stuff. So the farmer sort of utilizes this space because there's a lot of sunshine. Maybe. It's an idea. I'm just thinking about whether or not I would like to move the door over here or not, but I think it makes sense for the door to be there, because we sort of want to keep things clear here for sort of traversal, so people can move around in this space a little bit more. If anything, perhaps maybe this section can have the door sort of slightly adjusted. Yep. The chandelier issue is actually kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. So I'm glad that we actually have a bit more space on the ground floor, and the chandeliers on the ground floor totally make sense. But the upper floors, unfortunately, are having a bit of an issue now, thanks to us sort of not adding additional height. So yeah, I'm gonna do a very quick experiment right now to see if this is indeed something that we can sort of sort out by working some level of magic, clipping magic. But yeah, if I do something like that, for instance, and then we get the chandelier just tucked in there. Not enough free space, what do you mean? Maybe it might need to be a little bit wider. Maybe. Yeah, so that's totally possible, something like that. But the question then is, will it look a bit weird if we took this down and then covered that up? I mean, you can definitely see something. I guess it doesn't look too bad. But this is still, like, not high enough. And it doesn't look quite nice on the ceiling, does it? Yeah. Well, if any of you guys have any suggestions about chandeliers and lighting in the area, I'm all ears. Otherwise, we're gonna have to settle for, you know, these candles, like wall-mounted candles. And that doesn't look too bad either, I would have to say. It's just I do like the look of a nice chandelier over, you know, a big banquet table, for instance. Or a big, like, hall room. But if we can't have chandeliers, then we can't have chandeliers, so we'll have to sort of live with that. Just inspecting everything here. Yeah, this chandelier is gonna have to go. Yeah, possibly. I mean, if there's an opportunity for us to maybe hide the chandelier in one way or another, I might do that. But I'm not gonna fuss over it too much. Wow, what an episode. I'm not entirely sure if I really will be speeding up any of that, because there was a lot of talking, a lot of thinking, a lot of actual building. And I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Ooh, there's a bit of a mistake there, which I haven't fixed up, which I actually should do, but I'll come back to that in the next episode. I think this is where we're going to call it an episode, guys. Wow, I am actually kind of pooped after doing all of that. Can I sit on these chairs? Is that a thing? I'm not sure if sitting on chairs is actually something that you can do. I think you can do it like for like toilets and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you might have to sort of get in on the right angle. Yeah, there we go. So surely we can sit on some of these seats, but maybe we can't do that because there's stuff in the way. We can pick it up. Anyway, guys, this is the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, or a dislike, or some comments down below. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.